All right, so YouTube is rolling and Facebook is being kind of weird. So, all right, well, a little bit of my kitchen. Sorry. Don't mind the dirty dishes. I'm having some trouble over on Facebook. It's telling me a short video, and I don't want to do a short video. I want to go live. Hmm. Well, hmm. Sorry, you guys. I'll get it together. I promise. Huh. Okay. Well. Huh. Boop. Uh, all right. So this is only giving me 30 seconds over here. So check it out on YouTube, Mary Jo Stinnett, if you didn't already know that, because it doesn't look like it's going to let me go live on Facebook. It's just offering a short video, and an hour is not short. So head on over there now. I'll kind of hang out with it for a minute or two so you guys can do that. So Mary Jo Stinnett on YouTube. Sorry. All right, so I don't even know if it posted that, to be truthful. That was kind of weird. Hmm. I don't know what it's doing. That's very strange. It's the first time I've seen this. So I apologize, you guys. It's always a challenge, isn't it? You know, you just get something figured out and, and then something else happens. So it's there, but I don't know. Huh. Just being weird. Maybe I've got too much out there. Who knows? I'll have to do some research and figure it out. So okay, we'll just be on YouTube today, and hopefully that will work out. Goodness, always something. So I'm just gonna give it a couple of minutes to have people realize what's happening and head over to YouTube instead. So we'll get a late start. I don't feel like that's that abnormal anymore sometimes. So yeah, the dogs are comfy. So got a kind of a crummy little day here. So I don't know where you are, but hopefully your weekend is starting off a little bit nicer. Everywhere else on the planet, it's well, not on the planet. Everywhere else around here, this country is probably having a little bit of a nice, cooler weather. We're still hot and muggy. So hopefully soon I can get back outside though, because you guys know I like to play outside. So a couple more minutes maybe. I don't know what's going on. It's so strange. So thanks for those of you who showed up for the 5 day challenge. That was fun for me to send those out again and get your feedback and things like that. And it sounds like it was good for you guys too. So hopefully it was. Remember that I do have that month-long program on anydayyoga.com that encompasses that 15-minute practice, but it also adds a couple of other little things. So if you did enjoy that and you're ready to make a little bit bigger time commitment, not a bunch, broken up throughout your day, then check out Get Zen on my programs and workshop page. So you can check that out. I'll put a link to it in the notes over here. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And I apologize for anybody who isn't making it right on time from Facebook. I don't know what happened, but I'm going to do a little bit of research and figure it out for next week for sure. So today we're going to twist because I feel like we haven't twisted in a while. And you know, it's good to do these things. So let's go ahead and get on the mat. We're going to start standing up. Say hi if you can. All right, guys, you got to scoot out of my way unless you're going to play. Oh boy. Looks like they might. So remember to plant your feet right up underneath your hip bones and really ground down into the four corners of the feet. We want to make sure the spine stays long and nice and even. So we don't want to be compressed and then try and twist. We want to keep the space and length and the neutral first. So get those set right here. Get tall all the way through the crown of your head. Relaxing your shoulders down. Go ahead and close your eyes. And just be here. Connected to this space, your breath, how your body's feeling. All these things that usually we're too busy to notice. And allow your breath to expand. Finding that just beyond comfortable place for the breath. And keeping everything as you have it set here. So that nice long spine with the spaces, these big breaths. Let's add in movement here. So with the next inhale, take the arms and stretch them up toward the ceiling. And then exhale to bring them back down again. We're going to do it again. One more time like that, all the way up. And back down. Letting your hands just rest on your thighs here. Still connected to the breath. On an exhale, let's come forward into a half fold kind of place. And then a little bend into the knees. We'll roll on up, back to standing. So again, like that, coming forward, exhale. Inhale, roll up. Do a few more like that. When you're in the half fold next, go ahead and hold that. Finding the middle here, leaning on the thighs as much as you need to lean. Make sure the belly is working to help. And then bend your knees enough that you can rest your forearms on the thighs. And you can lean if you have to, but otherwise they just kind of hang out. We're going to take the right arm and stretch it up toward the ceiling. And notice how the body likes to shift, right? Let that happen for now, but just be aware that that's how the rest of the body kind of compensates to help us. Releasing that side. We'll take the second side, left arm sweeping up. And then releasing back to the thighs here. Go ahead and take your legs straight. Nice and easy, take yourself over into a fold. Letting yourself hang here for a moment. And then we're going to step it back into an all fours position. So getting nice and grounded on the four corners of the hands, just like we do with the feet. Shoulders are neutral on the back, the belly is still working here. We're going to extend the right leg back. Heel in line with the hip, but check in with your toes. Make sure they point down at the floor rather than out to the side, keeping the hips nice and square. Pressing through the heel, extending forward through the left arm. We're going to release that back to the mat and move to the second side. So left leg back, same idea. Take a peek at your toes, press through the heel, and then extend the right arm forward. Nice and active here. Belly's working. And then release it, come back into all fours again. Let's go back to that first side. Extend the right leg and the left arm when you're ready. Finding the balance, keeping the idea of reaching away from the body here. Take your arm over to the left, bring the left down to the right. Reach away. Taking your left hand back to the mat, drop the right toes over to the side here, and we're going to come up on the knee. So if you need a little extra cushion under the left knee, make sure you have that there. Heel in line with the hip. Let's extend the right arm. This is your left arm. Take it up and over. Keeping the shoulder back, maybe looking up at the ceiling unless that bothers your neck or makes it a little wobbly. You can definitely look at the floor. We'll bring it back up to center. And then release the hands. Let's lift the leg, hold it out there for a second. If you leaned a whole bunch to lift the leg, don't lift it so high, but try and stay centered. And then take the leg back, drop the knee, back into our all fours. Moving to the second side, same idea. Left leg, right arm. Once you feel set here, again, that idea of stretching away from the body as you take it out to the side. So the arm over to the right and the leg to the left. Releasing the hands to the floor, take your toes over to the side here and come up on your knee. Adjust if you need to adjust. It doesn't always land perfect. Take the right arm, stretching it up, take it over. And then we're going to come back out to center here. Release the hands to the mat. Again, keeping the rest of the body pretty centered as much as you can anyway. Lift the left toes. Take it back and then down. So we got one more here in this tabletop position. We're going to extend the right leg and left arm again. Bend at the knee. See about reaching around and finding your foot back there. So that might be the hard part. Finding your balance, finding the foot. You can press the foot into the hand and lift the toes a little higher if that's you. And then release, stretch out long. Taking the hand and knee back to the mat. Let's go to our second side. So extend the left leg and the right arm. When you're ready, bending at the knee, find the foot over here. And then you go where you go with it. So wherever the work is, that's where you work. Take one more big breath. And then release, stretching long first, and then dropping down all fours again. Go ahead and set yourself back into a child's pose. And just give your spine a rest here. So releasing, prop up in any way if you want to prop up. And then we're going to bring ourselves back into an all fours again here. And the dogs apparently want to do some yoga too. So, making it challenging. Let's take the left hand, palm up. We're going to weave it under here. And you can drop down to your elbow or all the way down to the shoulder. Either way, check in that you're not leaning forward or back. Okay? If your head is resting on the floor, it rests. We don't lean on it. And just focus on keeping your knees even, your spine nice and long. The hips want to help, right? So they're going to shift. Try to keep them centered as much as you can. And then if you want a bigger twist, you use the floor, right? Push against the left arm. Push into the right fingertips. And wherever you are in the twist, using the floor to kind of press into will deepen your twist. So continue to use the left arm and maybe lift the right arm. Reach toward the ceiling, keeping the shoulder back. You can take that right hand behind your back, reach over toward the outside of your left hip, and then maybe you can pull a little bit on the hip. So we're pressing into the left arm, pulling with the right, and working ourselves into a deeper twist if that's you at this moment. Take one more breath wherever you are. And then make your way back into an all-fours position. I don't know what's going on, chaos this morning. So let's take our second side. Go ahead and weave the right arm under, either down to your forearm or down to the shoulder. And again here, settle evenly on your knees. Make sure your spine stays long. Working deeper into your twist by using the floor. Burn off some of that energy. Taking the arm to where you take that arm, the left arm, either up toward the ceiling or wrapping behind the back if you haven't already, of course. Right? Adding on what is working for you at this moment. So wherever you are, take one more breath in that. And then go ahead and release, making your way back into all fours. And back into that child's pose again. So take the arms and stretch them out long in front, grounding the four corners of your hands again. This time, instead of lifting up into all fours, let's come forward into kneeling plank. So take just a second and set yourself here. Four corners of the hands, shoulders even on the back, the belly's working. And if this is enough, it's enough. But maybe lift the knees and come to full plank. And just hold. Nothing fancy about it necessarily. You can get all fancy if you want to, but just holding here, extending through the crown of your head, pressing through your heels. You could look like you're standing upright with your arms extended forward for some strange reason. And then from your plank here, let's go ahead and lift to down dog. Wiggling and stretching like we do. And then really sinking into it after you've been here for a breath or two and shifting, pressing the chest back, pressing the heels toward the floor. They may or may not touch. Don't worry about
bringing your feet flat. We don't want to make down dog any shorter just to get the feet flat to the floor. So keep what we have here. Make sure your belly is working. We're going to lift the right leg. Take it straight back and extend through the heel. Go ahead and open the hip, lifting the toes as high as they'll go here. You can bend at the knee, pointing toward the ceiling-ish. Work to keep your upper body pretty stable, just like it was when both feet were on the floor. And then release that side. Come back to down dog. We'll take our second side, lifting the left leg. Extending through the heels. Open the hip. Bend at the knee maybe. Keep the head hanging between the arms, working to keep the shoulders level. And then release that side. Dropping back down to the knees and sitting back in our child's pose again. So we're going to bring it back into down dog. And here from down dog, just step the feet forward and we'll come back to our standing fold. Feet up underneath the hip bones, just like we started here. Allow yourself to walk in place. So we're working a little deeper into our hamstrings. And then coming to a center here, let's open the feet a little wider. So say just outside of the shoulders or so. You can have a little bend in your knees here if you like. We're going to take the fingers to interlace behind the lower back. Draw the shoulder blades together on the back and stretch the knuckles away from the shoulders. Maybe they'll lift up off of your lower back. And then let's release. Bringing the fingertips back to the floor, go ahead and open your feet a step wider. So if you want to turn sideways on your mat, you absolutely can. We're not going crazy wide just at this point yet. Maybe we will later. But for right now, just a little wider than where we were. So however you get them there, take your fingertips to the floor, arms straight up underneath the shoulders here. So it might lift you out of a fold a little bit. It might require that you bend your knees. The only thing with bending your knees is you want to work to keep them evenly bent, which might be a trick. So here, we're going to bring the left hand underneath the face. Take your right hand to your hip. Work to keep the hips where they are. Again, they're going to want to shift and do all that crazy stuff to help. Extend forward through the crown of your head, back through your hips. Try not to shift back though. And then rotate around into a twist here. So the belly button turns, the side ribs turn, the shoulder goes back, and maybe you look at the ceiling. If the body shifted, bring it back to center. You can use the floor here as well, pushing down into the mat, and then imagine kind of pulling over to the left. So use the stability of the floor to make your twist a little deeper, maybe. Take one more breath. And then release that side. Bringing the right hand to the floor and the left hand to the hip. Same idea on this side, rotating around. If when you get there, you do feel that shift in your hips, just come back, right? Find center again. Keep the length through your spine. Make sure you're breathing. Use the floor or not. One more big breath. And then release that side. Let's bring the feet back in, up underneath the hip bones. And then take the hands back up to the thighs, Bring the upper body parallel to the floor again. Shoulders back.
Bend into the knees, and we're gonna sit into a chair. Hang on if you feel like you need to. Come center or extend the arms if that's for you today. Keep sinking into your hips and lifting through the crown of your head. One more breath here. On an inhale, extend to the ceiling. And exhale the arms. We're going to move in through some sun salutes. Take your time, follow your breath, modify anything you need to modify, of course. So with the inhale, stretch the arms towards the ceiling. And on the exhale, take yourself into a fold. Inhaling, come halfway up. And then exhale, let's step ourselves back into plank again. Take the knees if you'd like. We're dropping down to the belly, nice and controlled here. Hands next to the side ribs, just a nice easy little shoulder roll. Tiny baby cobra. Releasing that, push up and back into down dog. And then inhale as you step the feet forward, coming back into the fold again. Halfway up. Exhale over. Coming all the way up, reach to the ceiling. And release. Another one just like that. Inhaling in on the way up. Taking it into fold. Halfway up. Exhale, plank. All the way down to the belly on that same exhalation if you can. Inhale as you roll to your cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, step forward. Exhale into your fold. Come halfway up, inhale. And then fold again. Reaching to the ceiling. And release it. Adding on or not, remember to follow your breath. Take an extra breath in something if you need it. Let's inhale, sit into a chair. And then exhale into the fold. Halfway up. Taking it back into plank. Dropping down. Roll to cobra. Press back to down dog. And on an inhale, step the right foot forward in the lunge. Drop the back knee or heel, and then inhale, lift your upper body. Exhale it back down again, and step back to down dog. Slide forward plank. Take it down. Roll into cobra. Exhale back to down dog. And then step the left foot forward. Inhale. Heel our knee to the mat, and we lift. Back over into the lunge. Stepping back to down dog. Inhale, forward plank. Exhale to the belly. Inhale for cobra. And then release, take it back to down dog. So you can hold in this down dog, or you can drop on down into child's pose and rest a little bigger. You decide. Let your breath decide, really. Take one more breath here. And if you did drop down, lift back to down dog. And from down dog, step forward into fold. Inhale, coming halfway up. Exhale over. And then into chair. And exhale to release. All right, so we're done with those. We're gonna move into our standing poses then. So on the top of the mat here, take a short step back with the right foot. Starting in a warrior one, all 10 toes are gonna point forward. If you need to be a little wider, because it's wobbly, be a little wider. You don't wanna go too crazy, but pretty aligned.
Both feet even on the floor. And then the left knee's bent. The right heel still grounded. Hips are square, shoulders are square. We're gonna reach the arms up. Looking up unless that bothers your neck or makes it a little wobbly, you can keep your head neutral. And from our warrior one, we're going to transition into warrior two. So arms parallel to the floor, left arm over left leg, opening the back foot. The toes point more toward the side here, but you want to watch your left knee and let that be the guide for whether your toes can point more out to the side or whether they have to be a little bit more forward. Sometimes this left knee will collapse if you open them too much. So watching that the knee stays aligned over the ankle. We'll bend the left arm, rest the forearm on the thigh, take the right arm up and over the ear. See if you can sink into your hips, extend through your right fingertips. And then let's release that over into a lunge. Dropping the back knee. See about sinking into your hips here. So it's easy to sort of back up out of them, but try and keep them low. We're going to bring the hands up to the thigh here and lift the upper body. So sinking into the hips, keeping the length through the spine, you've got those neutral curves, right? Take the right hand to the outside of the knee and maybe the left hand to the hip. Pulling against the knee, rotate the belly around to the left. Side ribs toward the back of your mat, taking the shoulder back. Watch the knee, keep it pointing forward. And if you want to go a little bit deeper, we bring the right elbow to the outside of the knee instead of the hand. And then you've got more to push against, right? You can push against the outside of the knee to draw the belly around, side ribs back, shoulder back, looking up. The palms can come together. You can kind of press into the hands, pressing into the knee. And then gently release your twist. We're going to step back in down dog. Let yourself kind of wiggle around a little bit here. And then we're going back to that same lunge. So left foot forward and the right knee to the mat. Sometimes you can get a little stuck there, so you want to take a little break and unplug for a second. So we're going to leave the hips low. This time, bring the left hand to the inside of the foot. So you can definitely bend on a block if you need to. Hips are low. For right now, we're going to keep them really square to the floor, right? So the right hip is going to stay where it is. You've got the inside of the leg to push against this time. The right hand can come simply to the right hip, or it can slide behind the back over toward your left hip. So you're going to push against the left arm and pull with the right, rotating the belly around. And if you want to get all fancy with it, you definitely can. You can lift the back knee and drop the back heel. When you drop the back heel, the hip opens. Take another big breath. And then release all of that back to lunge and back to your down dog. We're going to shift forward to plank. Exhale to the belly. Roll into a cobra. And then back to down dog. So let's walk the feet forward, come back to our standing fold here. Maybe a little bend in your knees if you like. Let yourself hang for a second. If they're not already, go ahead and bend at the knees. On an inhale, roll your spine all the way back to standing. We'll take the second side. So that short step back with the left foot. Check out your toes, make sure you're even on your feet, wider or not. When you're ready, bend the right knee. And so when we bend the knee, it's easy for the upper body to come forward, right? See if you can stay nice and vertical. And then extend the arms. Transitioning into that warrior two, take the arms parallel, opening up the back toes, opening the feet a little wider, making sure you make the adjustments that are right for your body. We're going to bend the right arm, rest it on the thigh, bring the left arm up and over, sinking into the hips. Shoulders drawn back, maybe looking at the ceiling if that's you. Again, here you can take that left arm behind the back a little bit, even here. We're going to release it all. Come over to a lunge, and then back to our down dog. So let the body shift a little bit, wiggle around. Bring the right foot forward again, back into the lunge. Dropping down to the back knee. So the hips are going to sink. We're going to lift the upper body. And then again here, you go as deep into this twist as you want. So the left hand, stay outside of the knee, right hand maybe to the hip, pulling against the knee a little bit here. Or maybe taking the left elbow to the outside of the knee and then pushing against it there. Palms can come to touch. And then go ahead and release that twist. Step yourself back to down dog and wiggle a little bit. And then again, we'll step the right foot forward, left knee to the floor. Keeping the hips low here, bring the right hand to the inside. So we've got this connection here. Let's use it. Pressing against the leg, either the left hand simply to the hip, rotating around, maybe behind the back, if that's you. And then again here, if you wanted to get fancier, you can lift the back knee and drop the heel, maybe. Let's release that and make our way back to down dog again. For a little second here, drop on down to the knees, taking child's pose. Making our way back to down dog. Let's walk the feet forward, come back to that standing fold again. Taking a moment here, maybe bending your knees and letting yourself hang a bit. And then bending into the knees so we can roll up through the spine and come back to our standing. Right. So we're going to take our standing balance then, and we're going to put a little bit of that twist into the balance pose. So if you're more comfortable off your mat or near a wall, make those adjustments here. And the idea is not to get as fancy as you can, but to have a nice standing position with a little bit of twist or a lap, depending on where you're going. So let's do it. Take all the weight over into the left foot. I'm just gonna lift the right knee. And you can stay here very simple. Bringing the left hand to the outside of the knee. Keep the knee pointing forward. As you pull against it, you rotate around into the twist. So fairly simple, right? Not easy, but simple. You can slide your hand down to the right calf, the outside of the calf. Same idea, pulling against it though. You might be able to find your foot. Now it's fine if you let it kind of hang out to get it, but then bring the knee back. And you're gonna pull against the foot, hugging in. Maybe the right leg is straight. You can extend your right arm back. You can look over your right thumb. Again, it doesn't have to be complicated wherever you're feeling a challenge. We're going to release all of that. Take a little second to regroup. And then let's go to the second side. So all the way right, lift the left. And you complicate it as much as you want to. So right hand starts at the knee, outside of the knee here. Pulling maybe a little bit. Stand up nice and tall. And if the hand slides down, it does. And if it finds your foot, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You can extend the leg. Extend the left arm back. Looking over the thumb if it's not challenging enough. We're going to take one more breath. Gently unwind it all. Well, as gently and gracefully as you can. And then from the top of the mat here, let's go ahead and stretch the arms up. Take yourself over into a fold. Stepping back into our down dog again. And then go ahead and drop down. Take a quick little brief intermission in child's pose. So hop on up, back to down dog. And we're going to revisit where we were earlier. So extending through your heels in your down dog, keep your chest pressing back. Let's lift the right leg. Open at the hip, bending at the knee, bring it up. This left shoulder likes to dip, try and keep them level. And then release. Switching to the second side, lift the left leg. Open at the hip, bending at the knee, maybe. Take a quick peek over your right shoulder. Can you see your foot over there? Maybe yes, maybe no. Let's release that side. So come on back down to the knees. Take just a little brief pause here in your child's pose. And then come on up into kneeling plank. Make sure your belly's working, feeling the shoulders even on the back. We're going to take the left foot. I'm going to do the other side first, just so you may be able to see a little bit better. So take your right foot over to the right side of your mat. We're moving into a side plank variation here. So the right hand, right knee, left toes at the back of the mat, the body is aligned, right? See about bringing your left foot behind the body. So you can be a little bit in front of your right shin, or you can step behind it. You don't want to step on it, of course. Tuck your tailbone under. See if you can open your right hip more so your chest starts to turn toward the ceiling. You can extend the left arm. You can plug the shoulder back down, get a little bit of a back bend idea. Maybe stretching the left arm over the ear. Keep lifting the chest, tucking the tailbone. And then make your way back to your kneeling plank. Same idea on our second side here, taking the left foot over to the left and opening the body to the right. So again here, get aligned, adjust what you need to adjust, make sure your left hand is healthy. And then maybe this right foot steps back a bit in front of the shin, behind the calf back there, tuck your tailbone, lifting your pelvis. Rotating the chest more toward the ceiling, extending the right arm, reaching over your ear, any of those other little pieces that feel good. And then make your way back to your kneeling plank again. All the way back to child's pose. And let's come up to sit on the heels for just a second here. From there, take the legs around front. Sweating mess today. So, good thing I'm not outside, right? All right, so making sure that you're nice and tall here, right? Upright on the pelvis, the spine is tall, belly's working to support all of that, of course. So from here, take your right foot flat to the floor. You can have it on the inside, or you can have it on the outside. So that foot's flat, your pelvis is level, your spine is tall, right? Keep all of that and see if maybe this left knee will bend, bringing your heel in front of your sit bone. So if it makes your pelvis sit crooked, forget it, extend the leg again. Maybe your knee doesn't like this, right? So wherever you can have all of those pieces, whether this left leg is bent or straight, sit really tall. And then wrap the left arm around the leg. Take your right arm back behind your back. You're gonna push into the floor to sit taller. You're gonna pull against the leg to rotate around. Using the floor, using your body. Take another big breath. And then we're gonna release that, coming back to the center. Unhook your legs. And then switch sides. So see what happens over here, because it's not always the same. Left foot flat to the floor, whether it's on the inside or on the outside. Pelvis is level, spine is tall. You can hang on like crazy to this leg. Maybe the right knee bends. And you don't want to sit on the heel because that makes you crooked, right? So have your foot right in front of your sit bone. Sit extra tall. And then wrap your right arm, left arm behind the back. Push into the floor, pull against the leg, and rotate around. Let's gently release that, coming back to center. Unhook the legs. Extend them long, maybe bounce them around a little bit if that feels good. Again, here, just making sure you're upright on your pelvis. We're gonna sit tall, reach the arms up, and then let's hinge forward into fold. Let your hands fall. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Pulling them together on your back just a little bit. On an inhale, make your way back up. We'll release the arms. Let's bring the soles of the feet together here.
Go ahead and scoot forward on your mat a little bit if you're to the back of your mat, because we're going to roll back in just a second. So soles of the feet together, heels in toward the groin. Hang on to your ankles, lift your chest, relax your shoulders. And then lean back just enough to balance. Go ahead and C-curve your spine and roll on down. So all the way down to your back. Soles of the feet are going to stay together. Go ahead and let them come to the floor and rest the knees out to the side. Bringing the knees back together, or back up toward the ceiling anyway. Let's go ahead and cross the left ankle over the right knee. Reach back behind the right thigh here and releasing your fingers. Pulling the leg in toward the chest, you can press the left leg away a little bit with your elbow. And here you can allow your spine to sort of roll up so you can pull the right leg into the chest as close as it'll go. Keeping the feet flexed, help protect the knee. Keep drawing in. So the arms are hugging in toward the body. Now you're going to use that right leg, push into the hands. Try to rest your shoulders back. See if you can get your spine to kind of flatten back out again. And it's not flat, but it's not round for sure. And then we'll release that, taking both feet flat to the floor again. And then we'll switch sides. So bring the right ankle over the left knee, reaching back behind the left thigh here, and then releasing the fingers. Pulling it in, pressing the right leg away a little bit or a lot, or maybe even not at all. Right? Listen to what your body needs from you. Allowing the spine to sort of round so we can pull that leg in nice and tight. Keep the arms pulling toward the body. Kick the leg back into the hands. So you got to push and pull and see if you can neutralize your spine again here. And then we're going to release that. So both feet flat to the floor again. Let's open the arms out into a T position. And this next twist is your option. It's always your option, but especially because we've been working so hard with them today. So if you want to shift your hips first and then let the legs fall to the right, if you just want to let them flop over to the side, you can maybe pull them in closer to your chest and then let them fall to the right. Any little variation. And then it's up to you whether you want to work in it or whether you want to rest into it. We've done plenty of work. So if you're over it, you're over it. Just find what your body needs. We're going to take just a couple more breaths on this side. And then make your way back up to center. Whatever variation you did on the first side, do on your second side. So keeping the body as aligned and even as you can. So the same idea, working a little bit or working not at all.
you decide what you need over here. And even though you're working evenly, it may not look exactly the same. So don't worry about that necessarily. Feeling the sensations in the muscles. So just a couple more breaths on this side. And then go ahead and make your way back up to center again. We're going to draw the knees into the chest, a little rock, side to side, up and down, circles. And then let's squeeze the knees in as tight as we can. So about wrapping your arms across your shins, pulling your forehead toward your knees. Give yourself a big squeeze. And then release that. Take it into a full body stretch. Get extra long. And then releasing that stretch. Bringing the arms back down by your sides. Take a second to get neutral. And then release into it. Allowing the body to feel heavy. Turning the awareness back slowly to your breath. Releasing control of the breath, but stay focused on it. Keeping the mind quiet, present. And as relaxed as your body is for just a few minutes.
Slowly draw in a deep, cleansing breath. And then let it all go. Allow your body to wiggle and stretch. And when you're ready, take the feet flat to the floor. Gently roll to the side. And slowly make your way back to seated. Bringing the palms to touch. Bowing to the light within. Namaste. All right, so thanks for playing. Sorry about the technology screw up. we'll figure it out at some point and then they'll change it again. So have a great weekend, and I will drop the link to the Get Zen program in the notes here. And yeah, that's all I got. So have a good one, you guys. Thanks for practicing with me. Bye.